The Hunger Games is quite a knowledgeable film that explores a number of themes and issues, including power, wealth and poverty, and violence. Let's start with power. The people of Pan Am are ruled by a brutal and repressive government that will do anything to stay in power. For example, when Gale talks about running away, Katniss is quick to remind him that the government would probably cut their tongues out if they tried. Also, when Peeta and Katniss were both about to eat the berries and die, Seneca changed the rules and decided they could both win, because why would they give them justice? Then there's the capital. They hold power like a totalitarian government, which is a government that restricts individual opposition to the state and its claims, and has extremely high degree of control over public and private life. The capital abuses their power by exploiting the districts by taking their crops and resources that they produce. This is how the capital continues to be wealthy and prosperous while the districts endure poverty. Now, I would like you to take a minute and think really hard about this question. Kim Jong-un. He keeps a tight security along the border with China and has strict punishments for those who try to cross it. He promotes extreme nationalism and employs brutal tactics to silence critics. But it doesn't stop at the politics. It also extends over social, cultural, economic, and private aspects of life. Let's move on to the next topic, wealth. As we all seen in the movie Hunger Games, there's quite the wealth gap between the capital and the districts. District 1 being the wealthiest of them all, and District 12 being the most poor. Why is this? We've got the prosperous capital, which only gives a little reward for the district's hard work, thus keeping them in their ridiculous makeups, outfits, and items, while the other districts live in poverty. Doesn't this remind you of back in September of 2011? There was an international Occupy movement. This was a protest against inequity. Supporters of the movement agreed that too much wealth rests in the hands of large corporations and rich individuals. Which in the Hunger Games, it shows a lot of sentiments of the capital holding a lot of unnecessary money. Lastly, but certainly the most important, the violence. Each year, the capital forces 24 children from its oppressed districts to fight to the death on live TV. There are 12 districts, and 2 children from each district, boy and girl, are chosen to compete in the Hunger Games. There's no way of getting out of the Hunger Games. It is mandatory for your name to be put in the draw from the time you are just 8 years old until you are 18. The game is over when there is only one child left. Children can also choose to put their names in the draw extra times in exchange for more food for their family. The idea of children killing children is ruthless and inhuman, similar to the 6,000 to 10,000 boys and girls that are currently members of armed groups. Like in Central African Republic, they are forcibly conscripted while others are motivated to join out of poverty and a desire to avenge the deaths of their families and friends. Therefore, the Hunger Games is real. It may not be the same concept, but it sure does display real-life issues around the world, like power, wealth and poverty, and violence.